And we hot.
Back in the studio,
What studio?
Lakeview Studio, in Coleman, Alabama.
It was real nice out here a minute ago, but now it started raining.
Yeah.
No turkey cloud out here today, though.
No, that was pretty cool.
I put it up.
Yeah, I seen it.
Nobody commented on it, though. I think.
Wah, wah,
One or
wah.
two, I know,
Where's
yeah.
that button?
I don't know what.
Where's that button?
No, that wasn't it. There is a wah, wah, wah button. No, I was going to get a label maker. And
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we need that. And it needs to be big.
I do know the robot sounds on the other page. I didn't know that. Did that, and I was in here screwing around with it the other night. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. Got another live one in here. Did you lock the door?
Yeah, we ain't going to let him out till this is done. We've been trying to do this one for a while. So,
Well,
without further ado,
without further ado, do you think?
we got Roger Petty in the studio with us tonight from Georgia. What part of Georgia are you from, Roger?
McDonough, Georgia.
McDonough, Georgia. And we got to knowing Roger through Legacy Game Calls and well, I mean, we've become good friends. I mean, a lot more than just seeing each other a couple times a year. We're in a group text. We try to keep that going with something, and we may have something in store for 26 with all of us. And so,
Oh, yeah.
We do already.
He's very he was very instrumental in helping us with Mossy Oak too.
yes, absolutely.
If I'd known that, I'd beat him down 3 years ago.
How long have you been pro staff for Mossy Oak?
Oh, shoot. Probably 15 or 20 years, maybe.
Oh,
It's been a little while.
pretty good spell, man.
A day or two.
Like I said, I wish I'd known when we first met,
I don't know why I never put all that together because, like I told you, I talked to David because I knew he was.
Right.
I probably knew you were. And David, he didn't know nobody. He just told us what he did, but yeah.
Well, it kind of happened really quick when y'all said
Well-
something about it, and I like, hang on a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old guy over here with the gift
know
of
I know
gab,
your
he starts,
manager.
I just happen to know a guy
Yeah. And he
who
said,
happened to walk up.
And then he turned around and he's like, this is him. We're like, hey, all right, then.
So it worked out really good, and Matt's a real good guy.
Matt's a great guy.
Hadn't heard from him in a little while. I figured that fishing tournaments and stuff and his job keeping him pretty busy. You talked to him lately or any?
No.
So, well, it's turkey season. I don't know how much he turkey hunts, but I know
He used to turkey hunting quite a bit, but when the fishing season came around, he's kind of tied to that.
He is a,
But I think after this year, he'll get back to turkey hunting.
so. It'll be more. His kid will be in college
Yes.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Then, yeah,
But
kind of
he'll-
takes that responsibility away from him because school takes over.
Yeah.
yeah, because I don't think they have to have a boat captain then. I think they do all their own stuff.
Right.
So I'm sure he'll be at plenty of weigh-ins, but he won't have to be out on the boat all day.
Right.
Getting
No,
home.
but I'd be getting turkey tags for whatever state, whatever week that
That'd be a
tournament
good, that'd
was.
be a good way to slide into some different places, wouldn't it?
While you practicing, son, I'm going to be over here in so-and-so forest.
May bring my boat and listen for
Or
some
he
gobbles.
probably knows people all over anyway.
Yeah.
But
I mean, between Mossy Oak and his job,
Yeah.
I mean, he's got
Me and him got hooked up with, I used to work with Ronnie Smith, Outdoor Adventures. And then I met Matt, introduced Matt to Ronnie. So Matt's actually working for the same company that Ronnie does now.
Okay.
oh, really? Okay. He owes
Telephone-
you. So he
utility pole.
owes you. Utility, not telephone
Yeah,
poles.
utility pole company.
I've always called them telephone
Me
poles.
too.
And let me tell you something. I used to do, with my former company I had, we did a lot of telecom work. All right. Well, there was this company called Otelco. I think it's still in existence. It's just under different ownership and been brought in a big company. It was over in Aniana. That man owned every telephone pole, and that's what you called them because they owned the telephone company. They leased the poles to the power company.
Oh, wow.
That's how long he had been in the telephone business because you didn't call them power poles or utility poles. You call them telephone poles. They were his. Or I'd say 75% of them was his.
Right.
And then they got into the cellular side of it and that kind of thing. Now they're all the cores. It was the core family. The rabbit hole we got in, but on the utility. And now we're all talking about Matt. We're supposed to be talking about Roger over here. Well, give us some background. You from Georgia?
Georgia, avid turkey hunter. Been turkey hunting since 1988, I believe. Love the deer hunt. Love the hog hunt. my passion is getting kids involved in the outdoors. That's what I strive for every year. Find somebody to take out. So
your grandson keeping you pretty busy with that, though.
that joker's eat
Uncle
up
Roger, would you take me out?
I need a Georgia bird. Uncle Roger.
Well, it's kind of strange. Our club, I've watched all of our kids from infants till now they're grown and married, and I've taken most all those kids out. Got their first turkey,
Do you know, I tell,
and some grown adults too.
I tell and have told people at our club, and it's kind of a revitalized. We had a big club and land sold and everybody left, and then I got the land back, and there's only 2 or 3 original members, but now we got a bunch of young guys with the young kids. Told them anytime they want me to go sit in the shooting house with them, I'll be glad to. We don't got no turkeys to turkey hunt down there for the most part, but none of them turkey hunt anyway, but
Right.
yeah, it don't bother me at all. I used to think when my kids was little, when they got big enough to hunt, I'm going, golly, I ain't going to get to hunt no more. I got to go sit in the shooting house, no tree stand. I'm going to tell you, between my oldest and then my youngest son, when he finally, I think at 15, I started letting him hunt. He could hunt. He had to hunt with me in the same area.
Right.
So he started climbing trees and doing that kind of thing. Boy, I miss sitting there. Boy, the good conversations you had, and you find out a lot of things when you're sitting
Oh yeah.
with your kids in the shooting house.
Yeah. Like I said, all of our kids are grown now. Now we're getting grandkids. My grandkids are involved. It's nothing like it. I got 4 grandbabies.
See, he's like me. I can't keep up with mine either.
Had 3 of them and myself in a deer stand 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
We didn't see any deer. And my avid hunter, after the hunt, he's like, Papa, I need to tell you something. I was like, what is it? He goes, next time we come, leave them 2 at home. You got it.
Well, I got very excited this year. My oldest grandson, Jackson, and he's autistic, but he's high functioning, shows emotion, everything like that. But he said, that's what he calls me Pops. He said, Pops. I said, yeah. He said, I want a turkey hunt next year. And I got excited because he has problems with loud noises and, a train going by his dad was in the Marines, and at Camp Pendleton, the big helicopters fly over. He'd just go crazy, shutting windows and closing doors. And I said, you think you're going to be all right with the noise? I can wear headphones. I said, or whatever. I think that's what he called them, headphones. And I said, well, we can do that. So I said, I'll even buy you a shotgun. So this summer as soon as turkey season's over and they put some stuff on clearance or something, I'm going to get a little 410 and get him on the bench shooting 22s and that kind of stuff.
Now, how old is he?
He is 9.
He's ready.
So, and then his little brother, he's like, I want to go. And I went, no, you're not going. Because he couldn't sit still. If you had him tied up and gagged, he would, no. I said, you're too young right now. I said, I might take you deer hunting.
Right.
But you're not going turkey hunting.
And my daughter's rule was I couldn't take them hunting to shoot or kill anything until they were 6. So me and my oldest grandson, we hunted Bigfoot.
Oh.
When he was 4 years old, we'd go out to the woods, we'd make the tree knocks and all that stuff. Had a great time. Never seen him. Had a good time.
Did he ever answer you, though? Did you ever have knocks come by? I mean,
no.
Georgia has a lot of Bigfoot sightings, so, I mean,
He would find, like, little hair, and he's like, oh, Papa, he's been here. It was fun.
My brother, his grandson's that way. He actually killed his first deer year before last. But he does the same thing. Look at those deer tracks. Or somebody I think had walked around barefooted. There's a Bigfoot. Yeah. So it's funny.
Oh, the crazy thing, though, when he turned 6, I got the phone call that morning. Papa, guess what today is? I said, what? I said, I don't know what today is. He goes, it's my birthday. I'm 6. We can go hunting. So we went out hog hunting.
Now, how old is he now?
13.
Yeah,
13.
he's in it thick then.
He got his first hog when he was 6. Killed a double.
Yep.
Sorry.
See?
Killed a double.
It happens. I do it all the time.
I guess 2 years ago, it's kind of cool story. It's in the book. We seen this big old turkey track. And like I said, we were into Bigfoot hunting. He goes, Papa, that's a big old turkey track. And it was a big track. He goes, I'm going to name that turkey Sass or Squatch. Name it Squatch. I'm like, that makes sense. So we hunted Squatch. Squatch ended up getting a partner So he named him Sass. That was Squatch. Well, he ended up killing those two birds.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Pretty awesome.
He's going to be a turkey killer. How's he calling?
He's good.
Really good?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, he does have a great teacher.
He started running the mouth call, I guess, 2 years ago.
Does he run that slobber knocker?
Oh, yeah. Slobber knocker, Green Mile.
I'm not a...
He runs them.
What old Green Mile? I don't... It's just a terrible call.
Oh, it's amazing.
You mean that lefty.
Yeah, you need old Lefty.
Old Lefty, yeah.
Old lefty.
That's why I told David, I said you're using the wrong call up here, Illinois. You should have got that Green Mile out. You could have killed them turkey.
That's what I'm going to tell him, too.
Yeah, tell him.
Well, we pulled them two out of that hole you was in for a week with a Green Mile.
Right. Well, we pulled ours out of a green. Well,
yeah.
He was over there at lefty.
He was using Lefty?
That's his call. Lefty.
Is that his? Well, that
That's
makes
his call.
sense, too.
Yeah.
But all three of our birds came out of areas he was hunting.
I know. You know, and we talked to him on the way home a little bit. And so he knew we took two out of that one place, and then y'all got one out of that other place. I would have. I really believe I want to say I would love to say it wouldn't have bothered me, but I believe it would really not be mad at
right.
But going, God Almighty, I was there a whole week and couldn't do nothing. They all got
Well, he did have his whole family, which
now,
is awesome.
That's what we were talking about. You think about it; it's hard enough if you're by yourself, or it's even double harder if you're team hunting. But you got 4 people trying to get them on the trees, and 4 people not moving because even 2 of I'm going to move. I move around.
Experienced hunters.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Think
saying.
about
I
that.
mean, we blew it in Indiana, or I did. I don't know which one of us the bird saw, but we didn't know the bird was there. But you still should have been paying more attention. We pulled that rookie mistake, thinking that he got behind us. It was another bird.
And we'll all do it again.
Oh, that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
I mean, we're going to have a big, long, detailed podcast on going up there. But I mean, I had as much fun just looking, hunting, seeing new land.
Sure.
Yeah.
And to me, I don't know how it is with you. I'll remember the ones I didn't get longer.
Oh yeah,
than the ones.
No doubt.
I can't tell you what that story on that fan back there behind you is, but I can tell you the story of the one that didn't come up the hill.
Yeah.
In Illinois, or I can tell you the one that got by me in Tennessee, or
that's what started my book.
Yeah, and we're going. Let's talk about that. You not only are you an avid turkey hunter and master caller. I mean, you've won didn't you win some calling contests? You hadn't been in it, so it was just David and
William. Yeah, I never competed.
Well, you should.
Nah.
From what I've heard.
My judge is a turkey.
Well, there you go. That's what I said. I ain't good enough for calling a contest. I'm good enough to kill a turkey every now and then. So
that's all that matters to me.
When did you decide, hey, I'm going to write a book?
I wish I'd started back when I started hunting. What brought it about was some reason I was sitting there thinking, I need to start doing a journal on my hunts. Mm-hmm. Something I can go back and reflect on, because like you said, you don't remember all your birds. And all the stories, the misses or whatever, I just started keeping a journal. And one day, just thought it'd be good to share the stories. It's not a lot of learning stuff, and I guess you could pick up some learning stuff in there, some tips in there, but it was basically just for me just to go back and reminisce about the hunts. And so got with Amazon, they published it, and I'm actually getting ready to release volume 2 the end of this year.
Oh, really?
Yes. Every 5 years. That started in 2012. I think that first book went through 2012 through 2020. So every 5 years, I'm going to try to put one out.
I told him, honestly, if I hadn't been born poor, I mean, that's the only way I know to put it, and got to go to college in elementary school, junior high, even high school, I loved writing. I love creative writing. I like making up stories and stuff. And I wrote a little bit of poetry and that kind of stuff, but I told him I'm thinking about trying it. just trying to put together. And I've got a couple of chapters already beat out, what I call chapters. They have to be refined. You know how that writing process is, but because I know nothing about it. Thank God for AI and Word and that kind of thing.
I never was a writer. And like I said, my book that I released, there's a lot of errors, grammar errors. And I've talked to several different well-known turkey authors, and they said not to change it, because if you change it, it changes your word, changes your story. And Doc Weddle, if y'all know Doc Weddle, I was humbled. He came up to Nashville last year and wanted a copy of my book, and we traded. He gave me a copy of his, and I gave him a copy of mine.
It's a great book.
Appreciate it.
So that's going to go.
It starts off slow, and it gets better as I get better at writing.
So that the next one is going to end when?
2025.
2025.
This year.
Okay.
So y'all be in that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that kind of scares me in a way. I don't know what.
Well, people I hunt with like that, it's the stories of all my turkey hunts. Is
man, post-hoe digging.
I'll talk. Yeah, well, that's definitely going to be in there. The muck.
The muck. That's a good name for that chapter.
Good name for the cabin.
Yeah.
The muck.
The muck.
Yeah. Just hang an old muck boot out there from
That's
the
right.
post.
It was mucky.
You had a good time though.
Oh yeah.
I really, even though we enjoyed our trip up there, hanging out with you guys was really the better part of my trip. Right. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love to get up and go.
Sure.
But same like we was talking about earlier before we started this, it was like, what are we going to do? We've never hunted anywhere at 1 o'clock.
Right.
You stop. I mean, here, public land, you have to stop at 1 o'clock, but I don't hunt a lot of public land.
Kind of amazing how turkey hunting brings folks together.
We have met more people
and kind people.
Oh, the best.
Yes. Even people that don't turkey hunt.
I've never met.
Right.
I mean,
I don't know many that I've met and went, I don't want to be around that guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not saying there isn't some out there. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But I hadn't done that because I met William through David Smart.
Okay.
David Smart. I don't know how him and William got together. I don't know that story.
I think it was through. I can't think of his name. It's another fella. Y'all have met him before up there.
Well,
that's how I met you through when.
Well, yeah,
you came up with
I
David
came
the
up
first
with
year.
David. David invited me to come to the convention with him.
Yep. Then the following year,
of course, I'd
Dustin
been
came.
here in 2 years later. I came 2 years without Dustin.
Okay.
Then you came.
the second year I was supposed to go.
You were gone.
I was working on a patio.
So, but it's just, I don't know. It's weird. And I mean, not just people with legacy. I mean, people everywhere.
Right.
I mean, we've met all kinds of people.
We went to a diner in Nebraska. We didn't know a soul, and we felt like we knew everybody by the time we eat breakfast.
Let me tell you, that's what we thought. You always hear that when you're out of town, kind of might can find some good private land to hunt or whatever. So we look for little diners.
Right.
And we found this place. Where was we? Gotham? What's the
I
name?
cannot think of the name of it.
It was I'd have to show you. I can't remember the name of the town, but it was a little farming town. Just, a spot in the road.
Sure.
But they had a diner. And I don't know, we came in there
It was coming a major thunderstorm.
we left to come in early to eat. And it was almost like an old saloon scene when we come in there. We wasn't supposed to be there, Of course, we're all decked out in camo, and it's like everybody, it got quiet, and everybody's looking at us, and we got our table, and kind of felt a little uncomfortable.
Right.
Finally, little old man waddled over there, didn't he?
Yeah, pouring us coffee.
Yeah, I thought he worked there.
Oh, he's just pouring y'all
He
coffee.
don't own it. He don't work there.
No, it
He
was
just
like,
take care of you.
what are you boys doing? You want to say the smart aleck side of him wants to go, we're fishing, but
Right.
we turkey hunting. We're hoping he's going, I got 5,000 acres. It's covered up in them. But,
Right.
And we didn't meet one soul that said they had any turkeys on their property, but we met so many of them. Matter of fact, the women at the hotels watched our clothes, was washing the clothes, and they watched our clothes
Oh, wow.
while we was out hunting.
Yeah, they got soaked. They were drying. We washed them and dried.
We'll take
I
care.
bet we could talk some folks up there at the little diner up there, and a lot of farmers. in
Oh,
there.
I bet
Oh,
so. Yep. I bet. I don't doubt that a bit.
Right.
Now I don't know how pressured that place is up there. You know, season 1, 2, or what they call it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. How they do them, but didn't seem too pressured while we were there.
Well, y'all ran into a couple of folks, didn't you?
The first morning they was in our spot, the spot we went. I shouldn't say our spot, the spot we were going to go to.
Right.
And,
Spot we told y'all about.
Yeah.
I've only ran into, like I said, I ran into one guy. I think it's the same guy I ran into this year. Very cordial guy.
We never
the only
talked to these guys. As we drove by, they're still in the truck. We panic. We drive down to what eighth of a mile past there and stop. And we're like, where the hell are we gonna go now?
Right.
This is the only place we even have a clue of. Even though there's thousands and thousands of acres, but
Of course, it's dark. We
it's
can't
starting
see
to get
anything.
daylight.
Right.
Yeah, it's starting to get daylight.
Yeah, our guy, we named him Hootie. It's the same guy. He would hoot.
He hoots
like 15, 20, hoot, and real soft. Hoot, hoot, hoot.
Oh, really? Oh, he's one of them kind of. I don't know what owl that is. I do hear an owl that.
Same guy. Like Hootie's back.
So have you spoke? Did you ever speak to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these guys we didn't speak to, but just like when we were ankle deep in the muck, we told y'all we was going to be there early, and we was there early. We were there normally before he gets out of bed.
Sure.
And then them guys got to
And
come
then
by
them
us.
guys got to come by,
you.
and you seen them hit the brakes, and like I couldn't see them, but I guarantee you, I got that. Oh shit!
Where we going?
I was thinking the next morning they were going to beat y'all there.
Oh,
Like,
we were
we got to
there.
get up earlier.
Well, which made me feel better in a way because, of course, we already had a little bit of reconnaissance of, there might be a bird or two around there. But when they drove up, they drove down the road, stopped almost where we did. Now, I'm sure they've got the Onyx out
Right.
or whatever app they use.
Were they Illinois?
Yeah.
Illinois
Okay.
tag.
Okay.
And they sat there for a long time because I've kind of wondered, are they going to come back and say, hey, you're in our spot? Because, there is people that'll do that.
Oh, yeah.
That think they own it. But they went on by. They never come back. We was there early every morning, never saw another car come by. But I told him, was sitting there, I said, that's a good sign. I said, they came back.
came
That
back.
means there
They
was
heard
something
something.
here
That's right.
that made them want to come back.
Oh, yeah.
If they'd have walked all that, never heard or saw a sign. And now, I'll be honest with you. I never saw a fresh sign. I saw a lot of old signs. I didn't see fresh scratchings. Or if I'd have walked around and not seen or heard birds, I don't know if I'd have thought there's a whole lot there.
Right.
Now, it could
You
have
don't, I don't see a lot of tracks up there.
No.
You'll see them
no,
in the
you
fields.
can't see tracks. You'll see them on the where you can't hunt.
Well, a couple of fields we have permission to hunt. You'll see them out there.
Well,
We seen
we didn't get invited to none of that.
we seen one set of tracks.
Yeah, down there.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, that was the only track. Well,
You seen the same track I
wait a
seen?
minute. He didn't. He didn't get
I
out the
did.
truck.
You seen it.
I saw those tracks.
Right.
That's why I do like to get out and walk where there's some mud. We saw tracks over on another place we went to.
Some kind of burnt CRP field we went to.
A real burn off place. Or it had been burnt off, open area. But
Yeah, if you can't find a piece of track to hunt up there, though,
well,
there's so much ground.
listen, I don't think we went anywhere there wasn't some kind of car tracks there or truck tracks where somebody had been in there hunting. So that tells you nobody. I mean, unless they were just people like me and him, never been there and just driving up in the place.
Right.
But there were some places that looked like it'd been wore out. So they've been hunted.
Yeah, if you drive those roads and you see those trucks, and then the next day you see those trucks in the same spot, they're hearing something. Something's keeping them back. over
That's
there.
a good. Honestly, if you're hunting multiple days, and we were only going to hunt 5 days,
Right.
we stayed that extra day. Thank goodness, 'cause
Yeah.
that got me my bird. But probably should take that first day, that first morning, not go nowhere, just drive around and there's a car.
See where
There's
people
a car
at.
there. Oh, these are all good spots. Pick the best one. Try to be there early. I mean, you still may get beat. You may have people get there at midnight. I don't
Well, that's
know.
what me and William will get. We'll go the day before opener that morning and try to locate, and we'll see if there's any traffic, which we never see any traffic, but it gives us ideas where the turkeys are at.
Well, I
'Cause if you
think
do
most
go in that
people
hole
think
and
that
somebody's
late
there
in the
next
year,
day-
the birds are done. Well, them birds,
oh
you know,
no,
They're not. While I was up there, I was getting pictures of strutters down here, this far south. And like I said, my uncle saw 7 poults with a hen Saturday. So the hens had already, a lot of hens were setting, and this big old bird was out there with 4 or 5 hens. He was still with the hens, and the hen, now was the hens breeding? I don't know, but he was there with them. He wasn't done.
Right.
And he's an old bird. I know he's 4 years old. I know I have history with him.
Yeah.
He has evaded me. I gave him a reprieve this year. I could have come home and went straight over there and hunted him, but I didn't. I started to go my birthday. I've never killed one on my birthday, but I've already taken 3 in Alabama, and I said, you know
Had
what?
a good year.
It's a real good year. I've never limited out. Even when we had 5 birds, I killed 4. But since it dropped to 4, I've never killed. Did I kill 4? No, I didn't limit out. I carried Christian over there and let him take that 4th one last year. So I've never killed the limit in Alabama. Tennessee, I've done it twice. Because it ain't but 2 birds, and I don't say that lightly. I mean, if you get 1 bird, man, that was a very successful season for me. I don't know about you. If I took, I've been hunting since somewhere around the late 89, somewhere maybe 90.
Close to where I was.
I've told him, I've probably said it on this podcast before, I didn't turkey hunt because I wanted to turkey hunt. I turkey hunt because I thought you got to sleep late. Nobody told me you got to get up. Nobody told me you got up earlier than when you
Earlier.
I hated it. Of course, now I'm an old man and I wake up anyway. So 4 o'clock in the morning, that's nothing for me. I mean, I was up this morning at 2.
Up earlier, walking more.
Oh,
Was great exercise.
Honestly, though, it's not anything like deer hunting. People just don't realize you are communicating with that turkey. Now, yeah, you can deer hunt them and you can, ambush them and this kind of stuff, crawl up on them, which I'll do any of it. If that's what it takes to kill that turkey, and it's legal. But, man, when you hit that call and he answers you and he answered you, whatever you said, I don't know what I'm saying.
Right.
I've seen some memes of what it's supposed to be saying, but
That's what got me into it as well. The communicating.
the first time I had a bird, now I hunted 3 years before I heard one even gobble. Now, I didn't hunt a lot, but I hunted. But I used to, when I was a service tech, I did all these cellular towers, and they're all out in the woods on mountains, and they were few and far between back then. I think there was only 40 in Alabama at the time. Now there's probably 4,000. But I can almost tell you exactly where I was. I was over towards Springfield somewhere, long, about a 1.5 mile road. I went out and did my work, and I had seen some turkeys cross the road in front of me, and it's right there. There's a Loman slate call. It's right there on the end over there in that box, up on that row on the left side. It's a Loman slate, first call I ever bought. And I got out of that truck. I'm in my work uniform, and used the bathroom, and I said, let me hit that thing. I stopped right, and that thing,
That was it.
I about jumped out of my skin. I went back and got my 9mm. I went and sat by a tree. I was poaching. My first turkey hunt was a poach. I didn't kill nothing. I didn't see nothing, but he answered me 3 times. He never come in. Probably couldn't kill him with that 9mm if he'd been as close to me to you. But that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Once, I don't know how it was with you, Dustin, but when I didn't have to kill one for it to infect me.
Right.
It was just that he's talking. You don't talk to deer. You can grunt at deer, you can rattle, but you're not talking,
you're not
to,
talking
them.
to them.
You're getting a reaction out of them. Turkeys, you actually are talking to. I ain't figured out their language yet, but I try.
Yeah.
The morning he killed his, I'd called a little bit. The morning I killed mine, he had called some. It's just, you don't know what sets them off. Right. It's so much fun.
Especially when it all works out.
When it works, Well, it's fun when it don't. Listen,
It's fun when it doesn't. Like I
Wait a
said,
minute.
like we talked about earlier, you'll remember those ones
Well-
that it didn't work out. Sometimes more than the ones
did you
that
have
did.
fun when you saw me tangled up in that barbed wire?
Had a blast.
That was,
Don't know if the crow call wasn't just as good or better. I really
Oh,
about
the crow
lost
call.
it.
did you know that damn crow call is working?
That's weird. Did William?
No,
Yeah, okay.
no, we
I
haven't
tuned it.
touched it.
I tuned it in the woods a little bit or tried. I mean, I didn't know
But
what I
I
was
blew
doing.
on it, and it sounded like a fawn bleat. Blah, blah.
We got to my house. I said, "Leave that call with me." I was gonna make a phone call and
Right.
try to get it fixed for him, and he got it out. I said, "Hit that thing." I said, "Hit that."
He was
thing.
wanting to laugh at me. What it was?
and it worked fine.
He
Crows,
did.
crows across the roof of my house started crowing.
Oh wow.
We were sitting there. We called and whatever. Nothing. They gobbled. We knew this turkey off. We hadn't heard it in a long time. Hit that crow call because they love to answer a crow up there for some reason.
Right.
Seems like they'll do that more than an owl. He goes, hit it. I go,
That's
he about fell out of his chair laughing at me.
About like he did with a barbed wire.
I
it
go,
wouldn't have mattered if birds
I
would
said-
have showed up. I couldn't shot. I was laughing that
I
hard.
said, that's a true wind talker right there because it was nothing but wind
Wind.
coming out. I took it. First, I thought bug. That's the first thing you think. Something got in
Right.
the reed. I'm looking up the light. Well, there wasn't no sunlight,
Right.
so up in the sky. Finally, I figured out how to tear it apart. There was nothing wrong
Nothing
with that
wrong.
call, and I slid everything back. And finally, I just threw it at him. I said, "You see if you can do anything with it." And he fooled with it, and that's when he handed it back to me. He said, "Try it," and I went, "Meh." Yeah, he's rolling again. So we're not deer hunting.
That's
But I mean,
awesome.
that's just the fun. That's the fun part about hunting with a buddy.
Yep.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love to hunt by myself.
Me too.
A lot of people don't, but I do. There's I've hunted. Well, me and my brother hunted together a few times early. And then the rest of the time I've hunted by myself, especially if I go to my uncle's because we all know about him. He won't let nobody else come up here and hunt. But me and Dustin hadn't hunted together till Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I like being alone, but I like being with buddies.
well, I catch myself when I'm by myself. I don't think about what I'm going to do. I just do it. Right or wrong,
Right.
I'm either going to make a call or I'm going to get up and
Blow it.
move or I'm going to do something. But when you're sitting with somebody, I don't know. It's like, should I make a call? Yeah, do that. Or no, wait a minute.
Should we move?
Yeah, should we move? Or,
Should we set up there? there?
or wait a minute. I think we need to go to the truck. It's going to rain. I think we need it's 10:30. I think we need to sit here till 11. He didn't have a rain jacket that day, I think, too. That was the day you left it.
Yeah.
That's why Hayes wanted to go to the truck.
Finally, and I did. I not by his coaxing, but I finally, he planted that idea. I said, yeah, that's move. And that's when I got attacked by the barbed wire. And that's when the turkeys gobbled and they were on the private. And then they beat us back to where we set up. And all we could do was stand there and watch. I mean, man, they come looking for the hens. They were down there.
Right.
They hadn't said nothing like 45 minutes. We were like, well, they must have went back the other way.
Because that's when I told him, I said, I'm going to ease out there and look, see where they went. And they hadn't went nowhere. They just hadn't said nothing.
Wow.
And then they beat us back to our spot.
we got to watch them go over the
Got
hill.
to watch him. All I saw was the tips of his wings as he stretched that last time. I believe he shoot me a bird with one of them feathers, but it's like, what happened? I said, they're done. They're finished. They've heard them hens calling all morning, and they come over here and finally looked, and there wasn't no hens. They left, and they did. The next time they gobbled, there's a half a mile away or a mile away maybe.
Yeah.
There's all the way across the woods in another. There's already, across the private, and they crossed through a scope of woods, and then it might have been the same farm, but another big old giant ag field over that way. And I don't know if we ever seen them again.
We had quite a few that drifted off from us up there this year.
So
Sound like they want to play, and then they just kind of drifted away. I guess the hens.
Which that all goes back to how much have they heard this year and what have they
sometimes
seen?
you
or-
wonder, and I try not to get. I try to be subtle, but I like to get loud.
That's the thing I noticed up there. You got to be subtle,
And that's the key.
unless he tells you to be aggressive. But
Well, yeah. Well,
subtle gets it.
now, I think they did like it loud. Them when I was telling you about the first ones, but when they finally gobbled, they would quiet, and then all of a sudden they'd get fired up for 15, 20 minutes, and they wouldn't shut up, and then it was gone again.
Oh wow!
And then the last one, you can make noise. My phone's over here buzzing. Tell her to quit that. We're in the middle of the podcast. So the other one, he was the same way the next day that wouldn't come in. He'd only gobble about every 30, 40, 45 minutes.
Oh wow!
And never really answered. If he gobbled and make a little call to him, he might answer, but it was just,
We had the one that would answer to crow, but wouldn't answer to turkey
yeah.
every time.
Oh, yeah.
We hit that bird. I
We're
think, 3
standing there
times.
one morning listening, and I don't know if it's just more up there or not, but I mean, there's owls going off everywhere. Nothing.
Well, the morning time, we would get them to gobble the owl.
This one, they might have one gobbled at an owl, but finally when the crow fired off,
And then the next day, the crows are flying. They wouldn't gobble, but they was gobbling at the owls.
yeah, it was weird. I
Have you ever heard William Owl hoot?
no,
Yeah, he's good.
no, but
He's won several.
I've never
championships
heard
up
him
there.
call until you played that video. I mean, I've heard him, demonstrate calls
Right.
at the show, but that's not out there making true turkey.
Yeah,
To me, true turkey calling.
Sure,
He's amazing. I wish I could do it.
great caller.
I just wish I sounded.
I think I've got a recording of his owl hoot. It's
Really,
pretty outstanding. And those birds would answer to it.
I bet they would. My brother could owl real good. He can't do it anymore. Something happened, and the doctor even told him to stop. But he could do it with his voice. I'll always have to blow a hooter to make a sound. I mean, I can yell. That's
Right.
about it. I mean, to me, it don't sound like an owl at all. I've never had one gobble at it, but I guess I'll just blow a hooter. It seems to work.
Right.
I had an old HS Strut, the old brown plastic one.
Oh yeah, I've got one of those.
I toted that thing for 30 years, and I lost it in Kentucky a couple of years ago. I mean, I walked that fence line all through those. Everywhere I went, I couldn't, but it was brown.
and it's gonna blend in.
God, I had so much history with that thing. I mean, it didn't even have no paint left on it. I swear it had grooves where I'd held it
Right.
with this hand. And I had so many turkeys gobbled to it. It killed me. I bought another one, but it ain't the same call.
Right.
It looks just like it, but it ain't. To me, I don't have that history.
Yeah.
You bought a real good hooter this year. I ordered one, but I ain't never heard nothing else from him.
Y'all got one from Shane, didn't you? Y'all get his hoot?
I've got one of his, and then
I bought a plastic one. He don't hand tune those. Those are they're mass produced, but it does sound good.
Yeah.
I bought a James Harrison. And
It sounds good.
I think he told me that.
It's sweet.
I ordered one, but I don't know if I'll ever see it.
Right.
Probably not this year. I don't really need it. I like that. I
He's
like.
still chasing birds.
Yeah, he's still turkey hunting. So I mean, and I expect that. I mean,
Is he up in Nashville?
He lives in Missouri.
I mean, does he go to NWTF?
I don't know.
I don't know because he's in with Phelps.
Okay.
Is he with Phelps?
Yeah.
Phelps is on my meat eater now, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got a buddy of mine who knows him well up there in Washington.
he makes a great owl hooter,
yes, he
which he's won it. James has won the nationals a couple times in owl hooting. I think he's about like everybody else. He started making his own.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, don't think if Anthony won. I don't care if it's crow calling. There's going to be an Anthony Crow call.
Oh yeah,
Wouldn't that be great? Anthony Crow call.
Anthony Crow.
I know.
There's already a Crow call. There's a guy named Crow making calls. So he's
Spelled the same way.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
The Windwalker.
I'm gonna take it again. Actually, I'm not. I've got my old 20-year-old Preston Pittman Crow call that's never failed me.
There you go.
I've just never had a whole lot of luck blowing a crow call, making them gobble. I have had them gobble, don't get me wrong, but I've had a lot more turkeys gobble at an owl hooter, even in the middle of the day.
Right.
I'll hoot.
What does a fella up there where y'all going to Canada, what does he say about the crow versus
You know,
is it geese or is it?
He ain't said a whole lot. I'm really
Do they turkey hunt or they just
no.
invited y'all?
They hunt them. He reaps. He does all kinds of stuff. So he asked me if I had any issue with it. I said I've never done it. I couldn't tell you if I have issues with it. I know people do have issues with it. But then I hear, I hear all these. Yeah, I don't reap anymore, but I've done it. Oh, thanks, Michael Waddell. I mean,
Right.
you did it. Well, if you did it, why can't I give it a try? I mean, it's kind of like us telling the people in the Amazon, you can't cut your trees. Now, we cut all of our trees down, but you can't cut your trees because they're important to us. All of a sudden, you can't reap turkeys, which I think is very dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
We tried. I won't lie. Did we not try?
And
we was in
Nebraska.
We was in Nebraska, and I made one. I had it on a stick.
I called it the popsicle stick.
It was on a dowel I bought at Lowe's, and I bondoed or epoxied it to the stick. Well, we run up on a super jake. I think all the gobblers over there have really been killed. Well, there's one. We know there's one, but he was out there with 5 hens. I'm talking about blowed up,
And he was breeding them.
He was breeding. We watched him. I laid up on the hill and got him to come up, and I told him, I said, "Going back to the truck. I'm gonna get that fan." I bet the wind was blowing 150 miles an hour. I got back up there. I ran. It wasn't a couple hundred yards, but I ran there and ran back, climbed up that hill. He was over there. And, that wind was blowing. All I could do, I tried to turn it. And he might look at it, but you know what? He didn't want to mess with no fool. He was a Jake by himself.
Yeah, I'm not going up there.
Why would he leave 5 hens and come over there to fight a full fan, gobbler, if that's what he thought it was? They didn't pay no attention to it.
Right.
Rats eat it. It's gone. I threw it in garbage. It's at Coleman Sanitary Landfill. I dumped it off this morning, a whole sack full of them. I had enough feathers to make a Indian headdress out of. I hate that. I try to save all my fans, and I save feathers. I feel like I'm wasting the bird just throwing it away.
Right. I used to save my fans, but now I started getting my taxidermist.
Well, a friend of mine, his wife makes some real pretty, like dories. That's what I'm about to start doing with some of mine.
What
Listen.
about the ones you see in the frame?
Oh man,
those
that
beautiful?
feather art. That's what I watched a few YouTube videos and I thought I might try it. I'm gonna have to retire before I start that.
I'd have to just
gotta have
pay
some
it.
time.
You got to
on
have
hands.
time and
Right.
patience, apparently. But it is beautiful.
Oh, it is.
I'd love to do it, and I guess I don't know what all feathers you use. I don't know if it's all breast feathers and wing feathers and the fan, but
Or the back feathers. I mean, I think they use a little bit
I mean,
of
I
everything.
think they look. Yeah, I mean, and,
But to
and all
me,
of
when you
them's
pluck
different.
that bird, wouldn't you have to separate them so that's back
Yeah.
feathers and breast feathers? Have a bunch of
or just the way you
baggies.
lay it out, however it looks best. I don't know.
Yeah,
But it
The
is
abstract.
beautiful. It's a great change, from just a fan or a fan
Sure.
beard or caping one out.
That's why I do my crazy mounts. The
you do
skeleton
have
and-
some cool mounts. We may have to get you to post a couple of pictures, some of them unique ones.
I ain't never seen them.
something
Oh,
different.
he's got some.
Apparently, y'all talk all the time. I'm left out of these conversations.
Well, we'll let you in the secret
I can
society
tell
one of these days.
I can tell the two people don't do a whole lot during the day because they talk to each other all the time. I'm too busy working.
You know, when I got all this at the NWTF, we were, we'd have a little slack here and there, and we got talking taxidermy because I like those that Williams got that he hangs on his
Yep, the
board. I
heads.
think those are really cool.
I might have to do one of those
Yeah.
as well.
And he's like, well, I've come up with some different ways. I just, something that ain't traditional.
See,
And
me and the listeners have no clue what you're talking about because we ain't never seen them.
I'll send you some pictures and
yeah,
post them.
he's got some cool stuff.
Just always looking for something different. My
Yeah.
artistic side.
Well, I know you told me that you've been in archery for a while, and you're actually going to shoot in some kind of archery tournament coming up, right?
Well, yeah, I started bow hunting when I was 12. Bought a used bow at a yard sale. Saved up my bottles that I collected, and my dad didn't hunt, but he had a place that I could go to. So I practiced with his bow all year long or all summer long. Come deer season, I'm on my first deer hunt. Got my stand erected. I'm ready to go. First morning, had a 7-pointer come out directly underneath me. And I shot at him, straight down. I didn't know any better at the time, but I shot over his back. The deer took off, and they say grunt, so I grunted. The deer came back 20 yards broadside, and I killed my first deer. I didn't start gun hunting until I was 15. But yeah, I used to shoot a lot of tournaments, nothing professional. William did the same thing. And so they're having a big shoot up in Metropolis, Illinois, I think June 26th through the 29th.
Well, he's excited about that.
Yeah, he really is.
He loves archery hunting too. So we're going to go up there and shoot that.
You said your grandson, is he going as a spectator or is he shooting?
He don't know it yet, but I bought them a bow. He's had a bow for a couple of years, and it's a really good shooter. My youngest one, who is 8, got him a bow last year, and he's shooting. But yeah, I'm going to take my oldest with me. Hopefully you don't listen to the podcast too early. Because it's supposed to be a secret. It's a surprise.
Well, don't even tell him you're on here.
Right.
He won't even, nobody else listens, so I doubt he will either. So all 3 of our listeners, I'm one of them.
But it'd be great for him, you know. I don't know if you ever shot archery tournaments, but
I've shot a couple. I never really. I got into it. This was back in it was the early '80s. I was like you. I got my first bow. This sounds weird. I was 14, but I worked a lot of jobs, odd jobs, baled hay. Actually, at this time, I was working at Captain D's, so I had money. My parents didn't make me put it in a bank. I know that might sound bad, but they didn't. I mean, it's like, that's your money. You spend it if you want to. You can put it up if you want to. I'd go to school. Sometimes I'd have $200 in my pocket.
Oh, wow.
So I opened up a pawn shop when I was 14 in my basement at my dad's house. This little town I went to, or grew up in, it was full of nothing but druggies and, drunks. And I mean, there's good people too, don't get me wrong. But so that's the kind that showed up. They heard I had a little money, and man, this one guy showed up. He had an Indian bow, little old single cam, about, I don't know. It was perfect for me. It and 6 arrows. I pawned it to him for, I want to say $50.
Wow.
It's probably not even worth that, but that's what I pawned him, and he's supposed to keep it for 6 weeks or 2 months. I can't remember now. It was so long ago, but I shot that bow every day. I loved it. My dad kept going, don't get attached to that now. He's going to come back and get it. And, man, it was down to the last day. That was my bow. He do him driving up, man. He give me $60 or whatever, he's had to pay me a little more.
Right.
Took that bow, man. I was heartbroken. It was summertime. And that Christmas, I got up. It was kind of weird. Even, I don't care, till we moved out of the house. Santa brought us something every year. My mother would put something under the tree at night. So I get up that Christmas morning, and there in the tree was an arrow with a bow tied to it. And my dad, you wouldn't know it now, but back then he was pretty funny. He said, there's your bow and arrow right there you've been wanting. Boy, I was mad. God, I was mad. Stomped off, you're 14 years old, whatever. My mother said, you better get back in that living room if you want the rest of what's attached to that bow and arrow. And he bought me a Bear Whitetail too.
Oh, wow.
Which I thought was high tech.
Sure.
And it really was back then.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the noisiest thing, and I had no clue about peep sights. It had the little old adjustable metal sights. I probably couldn't hit a cow standing next to it, but man, I shot it and I hunted with it and never killed nothing with it, but I loved it. Yeah. I think I bought a Golden Eagle. I was about 18 years old. When my dad didn't deer hunt. He was a rabbit hunter. He rabbit hunted and squirrel hunted, but he didn't deer hunt. So I had to basically find somebody to go with, or when I finally got old enough to go on my own. But I bought that Golden Eagle. Man, that thing, I killed a bunch of deer with it. Don't know why I ever changed. I don't know why I upgrade when I upgrade, but because I killed deer with what I got. You always got to have something new.
Oh, yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I was pretty much self-taught on all that.
I was.
The deer hunting, the turkey hunting, just reading what I could read and just learning on my own. I think that's why I take so much time with new people. Mm-hmm. Maybe give them a quicker, I guess,
I don't know. I think
success rate than I had.
I think I've got some old school turkey hunter in me. I don't want nobody to know nothing. Get away from me. I ain't telling you how to. No.
Yeah, nobody's gonna tell you anything. That's
No,
that's why
I ain't
had
gonna
to
tell you
learn
what.
on my own.
I mean that back when we were doing it, young boy over there.
Or
There
people
wasn't no
talk-
internet. There wasn't no YouTube.
magazines
Man,
and
I had
VHS.
magazines, maybe a VHS tape, and I wasn't watching turkey hunting. I was watching deer hunting, you know,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Yeah, because you sit quiet though. See why I have to talk. Y'all talk on the phone. I can talk on the podcast.
There you go.
But,
Yeah,
I was all self-taught. Did you know we drove? I had a heating and air conditioning. I was a union. I had to go to apprentice school for 5 years. And me and my buddy Tim Dormady, Timmy, I call him Tim because my brother's named Tim, but he goes by Timmy. We would sit out back and smoke cigarettes on our break and blow our mouth calls. We didn't know what we was doing. We drove people crazy at that apprentice school. For 5 years, we blew on them mouth calls.
That's how my daughter is with me with my grandkids. I'll send them home. Hey, try the Green Mile. Take this home. And she's like, don't send any more calls home with the boys. You know, all the coyote howler, the
Crow
raven
calls,
distress,
yeah.
crow. They got it all. Leave that at your house.
They got one of those little wood ducks.
Oh, yeah. They got all of them.
All the kids like
See,
those.
I used to do that at the hunting camp with all the other little kids. When mine got, bigger, I still have to hunt with them. But the little ones, they come by, come hang out at my trailer or whatever, and hey, take that crow call, take it on back, blow it tonight.
Show your mama
Oh
what
man,
you
I
do.
had a lot of mamas and days. Quit giving them stuff. 'Cause
you
I,
think-
I had all kinds of gimmick calls, and I wanted to see. Yeah, it's over there. Remind
Oh,
me.
yeah. Yeah, we got to look at that.
I got the gimmick of all gimmick calls. I used to, man, if I had $1 for every time I got suckered on a call, I got the corral. You remember the corral?
Crow.
Oh, I'll show it to you when we get off here. This thing, it's a crow call on one side, it's an owl on the other,
Oh, wow.
and it don't sound like either one of them. I want to say it's Primos. I can't remember. It could be HS Strut.
Is it that one over there?
No, you see that yellow one in that far right corner? That thing on the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll show it to you in a little bit. But me and my old cousin, we both, gotta have that. Man, I said, you ain't got to carry but one call.
When you think about all those kids that were Nashville, the squirrel call.
Oh, yeah.
You hear that thing, the kids,
Man.
it gets their attention.
They
You hear
love
them
And they
come.
can play it.
Oh, yeah.
That's even not knowing what they're doing. I mean,
That's what a lot of parents like. What's the best call for them? Like,
That's
get this
it.
one.
and I like sitting there at the shows where y'all just hit
Oh,
me
yeah.
because them kids will stop.
Oh, yeah. They look around. Where'd that come from?
Well, and they're reasonably priced, so the parents can get them something. And
And they
And
got
when-
to listen to it on the all the way home.
And then they take it and put it in the top of the cabinet
Right.
or they can't reach it.
or out the window on the way.
Right. Oh,
Stop at that Love's truck stop, gassing up on the way home. I don't know where my call's at. You must have knocked it out.
It just fell out the door when you went to the bathroom.
hey, you got to get them involved.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what I plan on doing.
Yeah.
We're supposed to got yours out there. His youngest daughter, only daughter, his youngest child was supposed to turkey hunted with us this year.
That Grace?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
Grace
decided to
was-
go on vacation.
Yeah, she.
And now that the season's over with, guess what she's been doing the last 2 days? Driving me crazy with the mouth call,
Has
trying to
she?
learn how again. I said, Grace, if you'd have started this, I said, you'd have been in the Potes. Because she runs a pot call pretty decent, but she wants to run a mouth call. And I said, we could have been putting you in Potes. I said, now. I said,
give her a trumpet.
You be with the adults. Well, I tried that too. I had a wing bone, and she could make noises on it, and I really thought she was going to pick it up. And that way I can learn from her. But
That was a cool thing with my grandson. I still remember that mouth call. It takes a little time to learn that air pressure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
It's not the air that you blow out a birthday cake candy
No,
with. It's
no,
the air pressure
no.
when you're
almost
trying
like you're talking.
like you're trying to fog up your mirror.
Yeah,
That from your diaphragm.
that's a good. That's a
Yeah.
that's
for people that don't know what we're talking about. That's perfect.
That's
Fogging
the air
mirror.
pressure. Yep.
Just a little.
But my grandson kept on and kept on. He was making a noise with his mouth and not with a call. And we were down at hunting camp, and he was just calling on it. I was trying to unload the truck, and all of a sudden he hit that note. And I looked, and he looked. His eyes were wide open. He goes, "That was it." I said, "That's the air pressure So from that point on, he started making the yelps and the cuts and so forth.
Grace, she's doing something weird with her mouth. Like she's
trying to make
trying to make a noise
She's trying
without
to
the
make.
call.
She's trying to like she's talking.
Well, she's getting the
She's
fishy
trying to
lips.
go. Well, she's trying to go.
Yeah, she's pushing out. She's
Yeah. No,
you know, and I was like,
it's nothing. You don't have to move your lips. I mean, not to get that note.
Explain to her about the air pressure, like you're fogging up your mirror.
What I tried to tell her too, you know, they got these words you use,
Yeah.
but I try to explain to her because, like, if you tell you say puck,
That's what
puck.
she's gonna say.
Or she's trying to say puck, and I'm like, no, baby. I mean, that's just
That's the sound you're trying to make. Yeah,
Right.
You know,
I don't know.
I don't know.
And I don't know.
When I first started, though, nobody taught me, and I was the
Nobody
same
taught
way.
us.
If they
Ain't
say
me either.
I could be doing it totally wrong. I don't, because we was hunting down in Florida with Eddie Salter one time, and he's got to use that tip of that tongue. Got to roll your tongue up. Dude, I'm going, that ain't the way I do it.
Right.
Then I heard somebody, you got to get it all the way up to the back of your teeth. No, just make that thing where it seals in your mouth.
As long as you get a seal.
You gotta get
Wherever
a
it's front
seal.
or back or whatever.
and I would say that depends on the person. Like,
Sure.
you know,
Well, I mean,
their palate's so different.
my
That's why we
tongue
have-
may
that's
be
why we have those
my
small
tongue may
youth
be
calls,
long
you
and
know.
skinny, and yours may be short and fat. I mean, that's just the way tongues. Everybody's got the same tongue, and God knows the tip of mine. There's no way I could do it. I tried, and I mean, I just I can't do it. You know, some people can't do it because they gag. My brother still has trouble. He'll blow a mouth call, but he won't blow it when me and him hunts together. He says, "You do it. You call much better anyway," which makes me feel good. He's lying to me, but just because he'll go, you know.
Well, Brandon's daddy Dale. Well, you met him, but Roger wouldn't have done it. What's that in Birmingham? We just talked Marks.
Deer Expo?
He went
Oh,
to
no,
Marks.
He
that
went to
time.
Marks.
And well, Dale was going to come back to the show this year in Birmingham.
Well, he met him. What was you at Mark's
He was
year before last?
No.
It was just
okay,
William.
that's right.
Just William.
Yep. And but he's got a bridge or something, and he's tried, but the dental work he's had done, he's gagged and gagged. So I got one of the dome calls for him and let him try it because I got a buddy. He kills lots of turkeys, but he has to use a Primos Thunderdome. He gets gagged off everything else, and so, which I give him heck all the time. Like, what are you gonna do when they quit making them? He said, I'll buy all the inventory I can, stick in the freezer. But he said it's the only one I can call. So I thought Dale may be all right with that one. So we tried that. He said, son, it don't matter. He said, I'm gonna have to run a pot call, or I ain't gonna kill no bird.
I love a pot call. I don't like box calls. I'm not a box call. I mean, that long box is the only one I've ever toted anywhere. I mean, I bought one of those Lynch foolproofs. Mm-hmm. We had an old man down at our hunting camp, Mr. Seymour, who was a heck of a turkey hunter. I mean, he'd been doing it since the 40s.
Oh, wow.
And he broke out his original Lynch. He had it. I mean, it was old. He says, "Here, boys, you know, you can't find this call no more." Just so happened, about 3 of us drove to Walmart that day, and they had a rack full of them. We all bought a Lynch foolproof. We were like, "Look at there, Miss Seymour.
Look what we found."
Yeah, look what we found." Oh, it made him mad, but he could make it sing, and I just don't like the bulkiness of it. Even though a pot call is probably as bulky,
Right.
but I can carry 2 pot calls and 5 strikers, and I've got what
20 calls?
20
Yeah.
calls.
I most 99.9% of my birds I kill with a mouth call. But I do carry pot calls.
Well,
and I do
if
carry
I'm
a box
sitting
call.
or if there's one way off, you know, and he ain't really coming, I'll use my pot call all the time. But if he's coming or he's getting close, there ain't no pot call no more because you can't move. I'm always very conscious of the
Oh, yeah.
moving,
Me too.
and that's where the mouth call. I mean, and then you don't. I don't know. People think you got to show out, but you don't. All you got to do is make a soft cluck or a little putt.
A lot of times you ain't got to do that. Just scratch
I
the
wish
leaves.
I can't. I wish somebody could teach me a great way to purr. I cannot purr on a mouth call that sounds worth the crap. He does pretty good. I can't. I just never have made a good sound. I work on it. I keep calls from me
Are you
around.
rolling your tongue or are you
I've been trying to do the gargle method.
gargle?
You know,
From your diaphragm.
yeah. I
That's how
still
I
hadn't
too.
got it.
I just can't
down.
gobble. Man, I have tried. I've put hours into gobbling on mouth call, and I just can't.
You know what?
I can do it on tube call, or I can stick the call up in the
Right.
top and do it that way. But I cannot do it.
How many turkeys you ever gobbled up? How many turkeys you kill?
I ain't never gobbled one.
Okay.
Up.
I ain't either. I ain't worrying about it at this stage of my
But
life.
sometimes you can get that bird to
Fire
gobble.
off. That's
William did
all
that up in
right.
Illinois, and that joker can gobble like crazy on it.
Yeah, he's really good on tube call.
Well, I'm just saying, that is not one of my go-to.
He
I
just
mean,
wants to learn to tell you.
I toted a gobble tube there
Oh,
for a
yeah,
long
back
time.
years ago.
Yeah, I don't know what I did with that. That should be over there, but I guess I threw it away. Maybe it got dry
I
rotted
got
or
one of
something.
those in my turkey bag.
The-
Those old Primos, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
that's what I got.
So it was a.
Well, and everybody you meet that's trying to make, because I got a bunch of friends turkey hunt. So when I got drug into this late in life, I'm seeing what they got in their vest, and I'm like, well, I need that.
Right.
And I may never use it. You know, I don't carry half the stuff I used to. And then I've got probably 4 or 5 friends. They don't wear a vest. They don't have a cushion. They take a shotgun and a mouth call in the woods, and they're very
they
successful.
running from hill to hill.
Yeah.
They ain't my age.
No,
You'll carry
That's
a
how
chair.
it was back in the day.
they're a
Now,
little bit
no.
older than me, you know, but
I know.
they're.
Yeah,
I
but you're
mean,
young.
they're straight killers. But that's if I can't do it with these 2 tools,
right.
I'm not going to do it. But
That's like saying if they don't gobble when they come in, you ain't gonna shoot them.
I'm going to kill them.
I know you. You done said you let one go by one
I've
time.
let 2 in my lifetime of turkey hunting. I've let 2 turkeys walk.
Listen, if I was just sitting there, I went to sleep for an hour, and I woke up and there's one out in front of me. Well, no, I'd probably shoot him. But I mean, that might be one I wouldn't shoot. But if I've been sitting there calling, and a turkey comes in, I'm going to assume he heard my calling and he come over there to check it out. I'm sorry, I'm not giving him no benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say my beautiful calling ability.
Well, if a
brought him
hen
in.
comes in and he's in tow,
Well, if he's you called
they
him,
came to my calling.
that
I think it's a
well,
show
listen,
that I like. I like the show.
That hen the other day, the first hen. Well, there was a gobbler somewhere back toward that old cemetery place. But because I thought he was right behind her. I mean, I had already had safety off. But first she started yelping, and I gave it back to her. Maybe did you yelp at her too? Anyway, well, she didn't like it.
And then I told him, I said, she sees that decoy because, she got fired up at this hen that was in her area.
When she finally come in, you've probably seen it a million times. I have. When she saw that decoy over there, boy, she come up on it. You know how they'll posture and come and walk around and do circles. But no gobbler with her. Even though one, when she would yelp, gobbled.
Oh, wow.
But I thought he was with her.
He must
and
have
he
been with
may
some
have
other-
been,
he
been
might-
way down the road.
He may have been down there with a harem.
Now, he wasn't where he was the opposite direction of where the other one that I ended up shooting came from. But they came and was coming up there. Well, I mean, we'd still call. Now, once I saw him, I just shut up because they were all milling. So like I said, the more birds showed up, you didn't know. I didn't know the 4th hen was in there. I knew 3 was in there. But yeah, I love a show.
Yeah.
But I also get in the back of my mind, so many things can go wrong so quick.
Oh, yeah.
You can be watching your show and just a acorn fall, or I say acorn, they ain't gonna fall that time of year,
Coyote,
but you
whatever.
know,
Squirrels start barking.
I mean a squirrel
something.
bark or a hawk fly over,
Or a doggone
and it's
deer
over.
get between.
And you've been sitting there going, you could have killed it 50 times and it's gone. And so
Now, when he comes
as soon as
in-
that one, I have my mark generally. If you sit there long enough, sometimes you don't have time to. But that tree right there, if they make it past that tree, I'm killing it.
Right.
And that one was, he's got to cross that little path, and then he had to come up. And I said, when he comes up, he didn't have to get where that decoy was. I don't even think he saw the decoy. He was with those hens. And that hen was coming to that other hen who was yelping, and we were yelping. And when he got there, that was all that wrote. I mean, of course, we knew rain was coming. And
Oh, yeah. Now, as soon
It
as I
was
get
day
the shot
6.
opportunity, I'm taking it.
Day 6.
You
and
said he was at half strut right before he came out.
when he come out of the woods, he was coming out of strut. He'd either just come out of strut or he was still in half strut following her. because you'd seen, I don't know if it was him or not, way up. He could see further to my right. He could see birds.
I think he was actually kind of going after one of them hens. I just seen something dart by a bird,
Right.
and I think he was after a hen, trying to breed her or whatever. She just stayed trying to get away from him, and then they end up coming back to these other hens.
Yeah, but he psyched me off that first off because we hear him gobble. And he goes, I see him across the road. Remember when you said that?
Yeah.
He just crossed right down there. And we're sitting, I'm done pop that safety
Right.
off, man. I'm done.
up on the knee, ready to
statue.
go.
I'm ready. I'm looking in that direction. And we waited and we waited and we waited and we waited. Nothing. Well, it might have been an armadillo.
It was still pretty dark. It could have been a coon. I'm not sure. There's a drain right there, but the bad part is I was kind of glad it wasn't a turkey, especially a gobbler, because once again, the way we were setting up, that was prime for me. I could see all that. He couldn't.
Right.
Just like when he shot his bird, I never
You're afraid
seen
I
him.
shot your leg off. That's what it was.
I was just
can't
going to lay
wait.
flat.
Listen,
can't
I had to lay down in a blind one time, let him shoot across me, kill the turkey.
He
in
leaned
Florida.
back. I had the little
I was
short
like,
barrel.
I was in a
Right.
chair and I had to I laid way back.
Oh, yeah.
That little barrel was like right there.
Yep.
Boom! Did you get him?
I can't wait to us hunting together. Iowa.
That's going to
Missouri.
be. I can't wait.
Like I said, I'll pick up some stuff from y'all.
I
but I
don't know if you will or not. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I always
How
pick
to-
up things.
What? How to cross the property line?
Nah, I ain't doing that now.
pick
No,
up
I just messing
pick up
with
a
you.
tree I've shot in half.
Oh yeah. I mean,
my journal would be it would have some trees.
Trees.
he
killed
would
in
have
it.
a lot of bark knocked off some trees.
I know
He
since
cut down a cedar in Nebraska. He killed the turkey, but man, they was cedar limbs falling all over me.
okay, I forgot all kind of about that, but because I was about to say since we've been turkey hunting together, I know. Well, you wasn't with me last year, but anyway,
No, but
but kind of since we've been talking and hunting together, whatever. I know I killed 3, but I guess that's 4. But now we had the prime setup under this cedar. The limbs went all the way to the ground. We had the saw to get in it,
Right.
or
I love them.
Oh, me too.
man, and that's just like where I killed my bird at. We was in some stuff. I couldn't even find anything. When I come back with my bird, and I'm looking, I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting there. I mean, you know how it's already green knee high, and I'm just a huge tree, and he runs over there to get his bird. And I'm just sitting there.
Right.
when I come back, he's
He's
standing.
over there.
I still
He's
can't
over
see
there
him.
looking around. I didn't move. I didn't make a sound. I just sat there. Finally, I go,
That's when you know you had a good setup.
I
yeah,
said-
that's
why
what
I
he
told
said.
him.
Man, they ain't no way them birds saw us, could see us. Of course,
Now,
you
have
feel
you-
like they're looking right through you.
Have you picked up tips from him
Oh,
since
yeah.
y'all been hunting together
Oh, yeah.
and vice
Don't
versa?
shoot trees.
Don't shoot trees.
You know what it was? I've cursed him on the trees. Our first Florida hunt together. Let me tell you. I'll tell you this quick story.
Anthony should
We're-
have killed it.
The tree.
We're sitting up.
bird.
No, we're sitting. We get there
It's
the
pretty
day
late.
before.
Yeah, that's
we
kind of
get
late.
there
in the
early.
evening.
We're hunting with Eddie Salter. Eddie shows up. It's evening time when he gets there, and we go. I mean, it's an absolutely beautiful place. Big, huge trees, kind of
Swamp.
swampy, and I mean, it is what you would
Picture Florida.
say is dream turkey. Yeah, Florida turkey hunting. Eddie's back there and he's calling, of course, that's what we was wanting. I mean, we paid for it and I want to hear him.
Right.
Of course, we thought he died, but he went to sleep for about 45 minutes. Anyway, finally he's back there. And he even told us, and we did. He's like, boys, you boys call now, don't not call.
We're a little intimidated.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you got somebody like that, and he can call, he does. But anyway, that gobbler's fired up, and I think he sees him, and then I finally see him, and that turkey, he drifts right on down. He's following the hen. The hens are coming down. He's right behind them, man. I'm late. I mean, I'm on him. He ain't 20, 30 yards at the
he
max.
might be 20
Might have
off
been
you.
20. It was close. Safety's off. I'm on him, and I hear boom. We hadn't discussed who's
We
going to
hadn't had
shoot.
things worked out.
And the turkey, I'm kind of in shock. The turkey's running. I mean, he didn't even, not a feather. And if I'd have been really prepared, I could have probably killed him when he
Right.
turned and run. I think he's fixing to die, but about me to you, there's a tree, and it's glowing white because there ain't no bark on this tree.
I've shot through the center of that.
He
jug
shot slap through the center of that tree.
and never seen it. I had rolled out, and my red dot was on the bird. But when my gun canned like that, the barrel was lined up perfect
Right
for
on
that
the
tree.
tree.
Because I'm looking at him going, I'm trying to figure out what happened.
Right.
So since then, karma has took over because I don't know. You've killed 3 more trees since then.
I killed that one. Opening day last year on a real
He had
crappy day. I mean, I had a stud come in by himself, called him from 300 yards midday because the rain just stopped at like 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. He comes in. I let him do everything. He gets out there. I just let him come on in. He's doing his thing. Chip shot 30 yards. He's down there. I'm just, boom. He pitched up. I took off running down there like thinking that I maybe didn't get a great shot on him, but he's down in the edge of the woods. You know what I'm
Right.
I done my due diligence. I looked for almost an hour before I text him and tell him, I said,
I'm at work. Of course.
yeah, I said, man, I don't know. I've shot one or shot at one, but I ain't found it.
Right.
So I ain't found no feathers at all. And I'm like, so I can't figure out what's happening. I've done like a 100-yard radius all the way around, and I made another loop and actually found some really nice places I didn't even know was on the property, and I've hunted there since. But I get back up there to my setup trying to figure out like what went wrong. I mean, I was in like, once again, it was too thick
You
where I
start
set up.
doubting your gun and everything else.
I'm just, and I get looking at my setup, and I go, oh, I mean, this tree wasn't from me to you. This tree was like the headphones right there.
Oh, my
Basically, I
goodness.
almost put the barrel to the tree, and nothing got out of there. I mean, there was nothing scarred up around it. It blew the whole tree in half, and I was like, I called him, and I was so upset. I was like, dang, and that's that big bird that I've been after.
Right.
You know, I knew it was there, but I'm not sure that wasn't a bird that you shot. I mean,
Really?
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because it's not far across there, and
That
I had a
sucker's
couple.
got 9 lives in.
I had a couple of pictures of him.
I
So
rolled
kinda
that
knew-
bird.
I thought Anthony killed it. That's a whole different story.
Oh, yeah.
But
karma got me that day.
I'm not going to say anything about anybody missing or trees
No,
or
I
anything.
missed.
'cause
Look,
it'll get you.
if you
it's
hunt
so
long enough,
disappointing, though.
I have problems. I've never missed. Well, you ain't hunted enough. Because, I mean, you're going to miss.
That's what brought me to the reflex site
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
because I missed 3 times in one weekend up in Kentucky. I missed
is
twice.
it not
and
amazing if you had 2 identical guns, one beaded and one red dot reflex, whatever you want to call it, and you hold them the same way and look down, and you'll realize when you turn, you can turn some way with that, and you're way off that bird. You think you're on him, but you're not nowhere near on him. And you do the same thing. That dot will tell you exactly where you're at.
where that dot's at, where it's going to hit.
And there's a lot of these purists. I call them purists. They don't like blinds. They don't like nothing. I mean, but yet they're going to shoot TSS. Well, they don't like TSS, some of them, but
I don't care how you do it, as long as you do
if
it
it's
legal.
legal, do it. I mean, if that's what floats your boat.
Sure.
I mean,
Everybody's.
I may not like.
That's what gets me. Other people talk about your tactics, but if they're legal, who cares?
Yeah. I mean,
If you're out there hunting, that's what we want people
What
to
is
involve
the
in the outdoors.
difference? Well, and we got those little deception blinds. I think it's one of the finest inventions. It's not a monster blind. You can tote the thing with you if you wanted to. It's great to stay dry if it's going to rain. Wonderful setting up on a field edge or something.
What's the
you got
difference of that and
wide
making
open.
a cedar blind?
Yeah, I mean, that was my point. What happens? You sit down, you're looking for cover, or you're trimming stuff and stabbing it up, and you're building a blind.
Or you get behind a blowover.
Yeah, I mean,
I was telling Anthony one state, because, we've been researching where we may want to go. I was reading that one state, you cannot make a natural blind.
Oh, wow.
Yet you have to, if you want to use a blind setup, you have to use a actual manufactured blind.
Huh.
I couldn't figure that out.
they might not want you trimming or cutting
Yeah,
their
cutting
vegetation
their
down.
vegetation.
But that was on private too. I mean, it was a rule in their turkey hunt, or their guide. I was like, that is weird.
Wow.
Super weird. I can't remember what state that was.
Of all of your many years, what's been your most effective tactic hunting them?
Probably subtle calling, patience.
Patience.
I know people say that all the time.
I know, but you know what? Young people don't understand.
Well, you sit there and you think about it. I mean, it's happened to me. It happened to me last year. It happened to me and William this year.
It happened to us this year.
You sit there and you call in, the bird gets quiet, and you're thinking he's coming. And I always give myself 15 more minutes after I say I'm going to leave. I didn't do it this year.
I go 30.
And we're like,
generally,
he's not coming. So we stand up, look behind us, and he's
standing there
60 yards.
15 more minutes, he'll walk right past you and in front of you.
That's been my year this year, is behind my back birds every year. Every bird I've caught in this year has come in from behind me.
That's crazy.
I haven't killed my Georgia bird.
How's your how's gobbling been for you? Has it been light, quiet?
Our place, like I said, back in the day, I would hear probably 12, 15 birds gobbling. Now we've killed so many over the years, and I've talked to members about cutting back and so forth, but we used to average about 40 birds a year. Last year we killed 6. This year we've killed 8.
How big is your lease?
Over 7,000 acres.
Man, that's not many birds off 7,000 acres. Now, what's the...
And I'm sure a lot of it's habitat and
change.
And
a lot. I mean, y'all have had some clear cut.
Oh, yeah.
But what about this year in particular? I've noticed, I think and Dustin can say if he has or not, we'd hear them gobble on the limb, but when they hit the ground, it's dead silent. You might get a gobble.
Right.
Most times not. I have this last bird I killed, and that in Tennessee, he ain't gobbling in front of me, but everyone's been silent that's come in. I haven't killed they may have been strut with a hen or whatever, but the last night I killed at my uncle's place, he was full strut. He come in, but he was quiet. Now, he was a subordinate bird,
right?
So I know why he was quiet, but you can hear him gobble on the limb, and they hit the ground, nothing.
See, I heard that in Alabama this year, gobbling on limb, shut down once on the ground. The bird that I caught in this year in Alabama that came behind me, he wasn't gobbling, but he was spitting and drumming coming in. So I could hear him a good ways off.
I heard that a ton this year, that the birds gobbled on the limb, hit the ground, nothing. And then there was one guy on the page that we run, he was tagged out like day 4 or 5 into Alabama season. He ain't heard a gobble yet.
Oh, wow.
Every one of them he killed silent.
I've heard him in Georgia, the bird I caught in that came in beside me, gobbling like crazy, spitting and drumming. I didn't kill him. He was 5 feet. He was 5 feet from my left.
I would almost not would let that not let it go, but enjoy not killing it to have one 5 feet away from you.
I loved it.
I mean, because it's all through you. Then I mean,
the spitting and drumming. Like I said, he was 5 feet. I'm not exaggerating. Right beside me, I just had so many vines in between me and him, and all I needed was another 5 feet. It would have been a close shot. At least I had an opportunity to shoot him, but he didn't see a hen, and
he turned around and left. Yep. Well, that one he killed. I was so thrilled. I hadn't heard a bird drum in 3 or 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And I thought I'd lost it. I thought they were drumming. I couldn't hear them because my hearing's very bad. So I was glad. I mean, that's one reason I like hunting with him. So he'd go, that bird's drumming. And then if I didn't hear it, I'd be devastated because I'd rather hear a drum than a gobble. Right. Most times. I like them both.
Some people don't hear it.
Some people can't.
The guy that was sitting beside me in Alabama, he never heard it. And the bird wasn't 10 feet from us, behind us.
Well, I'm lucky, I think. And I don't know how it works. Next time I have my hearing done, but I've lost high frequency. I've still got low frequency, so I think that drumming's still on the low frequency.
Right.
Like I can hear a gobble. I still wear my Tetris because my hearing loss is, I'm like 80% over here and 40% over here. It's really weird. So coursing a bird,
sure,
I have trouble with. It's good because he'll go, he's there, and I'm going, no, he's over.
Right,
no, he's there, or whatever. But that one he killed, I swear, and you back me up. He, in the middle of the gobble, was drumming. I've never heard that
drumming
before.
and gobbling on
Not
the roost.
blah, 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 blah. That's it was I mean, all in there together. I've never
heard that.
I've
either.
never heard it. That's
He
the
was-
first
he was
time
doing it
I
on the
loved
roost.
to yeah.
I told him, I said, that whole tree's vibrating he's in.
Wow.
I mean, I could hear it. You know, I mean, I could hear the tree vibrating.
I've got that tree's marked.
I will say though,
know where that
I will
tree
say
is.
though, this year he hasn't worn tetras as much because it's been so windy.
Right.
And I put them in one time. I know what
And
he's
don't-
talking about.
And
But
wind don't in them, but you know, like if you're it's not making that sound. It's just the trees sound so much louder.
Right.
It drowns out a lot of stuff. And then he gets aggravated because I can hear birds and turkeys better, but I can't hear him talking. Those things are tuned to the frequency of the
gotcha.
birds for turkeys or whatever you
Can
got
you
it set
tell
for.
where that turkey's gobbling at?
I can do better. What I've got, there's 3 different turkey settings. There's just like turkey, I don't know, turkey
last
something,
one's
and
turkey
turkey magnum.
boost.
There's turkey boost, turkey magnum, or turkey magnum, turkey boost. There's 3 settings. And what I do this year, I put the highest setting. This one sometimes, because I hear better out of my left ear than my right ear. And I'll set it on the lowest setting. And sometimes it helps me
I
better.
got you.
But I've been pretty impressed with him this year. He hasn't worn as much, and well, maybe until we get in the woods. But on the roost, he's heard a lot of birds this year.
Some
It's
I
been-
haven't heard. He's heard, but most if they're within what I'd call going to them distance,
Right.
I've heard them.
You heard them birds go across that field
I
the
heard
other
'em
morning.
over
That
there,
was
but
probably.
but that was wide open. I'm talking
Yeah.
about you heard one way back off in the woods. He's over there, and I never heard that bird.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
he gobbled 2 or 3
William
times.
did the same thing because I guess my hearing's good. I'd hear him way off, and I like, you hear that gobble? He goes, I didn't hear it. I was like, just listen.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I was listening to some of the next county.
Right.
I mean, and it probably wasn't as far because of the leaves and all that, but like the bird, when we went down there and set up, I mean, that bird was it sounded like he was way back in there. We was actually going to
there's
another
heavy
bird.
vegetation.
And,
Yes.
But, I mean, he only gobbled one time, and I was able to pick it up. I told him, he said, what do you think going after that? And I said, well, yesterday that bird, he only gobbled on the limb. When he hit the ground, he never said a word. I said, at least the bird we worked the day before, I said, he wasn't super responsive, but we worked him for 2 hours. And if we'd had the right setup and known how thick it was,
Sure.
we probably would have ended that battle the
I
day
went down,
before.
and that's where the woodsmanship comes in.
A lot of times you get too
I went
close.
in there. Well, but after that bird left, or I say he left, we thought he had moved off. I went down in there and set up. And when I went down in there, I said, well, this is why he didn't come up here. I mean, it's beautiful down here.
and it was super
And then you had to
thick
come
where
through
I
the
was
super
at.
thick to get up to top
Right.
of that hill.
Right.
And so the next morning when he finally gobbled, that's what we were already out there. I knew right where to go.
Right.
All we had to do is pick a better tree. And I was on a smaller tree, didn't hardly cover my silhouette, but we was on one that covered both of us.
And we
He
had all
kind of
that
watched that
green.
way, and I watched,
Right.
and
That's
then I
one thing
went out
about that
and
dense
swing.
vegetation too. Like out there, they're closer than you think they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because everything's springed up this year.
Oh,
Georgia,
yeah.
Alabama,
Wow,
everything greened up
fast.
quick.
It was
Quicker.
early spring.
And I
Let's don't get in a rush. Let's wait.
Yeah.
And I will say too, though, like I think one thing that helped on when you killed your bird was we were kind of set up already, and he said, "Man, that right there," and he got up and went ahead and made those trims real quick, and
Yeah.
I think that opened up a lot, as far as him being able to know that
Sure.
that bird was coming. 'Cause
Well, you know what's going to happen if you leave that stick right. That
That's where he's
I know
little
what
thing,
happened.
yeah.
I know what
You're
happened.
going to cut it down, or especially my gun's got a little bit longer. It's really the barrel's 26 inches, but the stock's so long it makes the
Right.
gun feel longer.
Yeah.
And
I don't want anything in my. When
I
I sit down,
actually-
I'm swinging just to see.
I especially hunting cutovers when down in Dallas County when we first took that land back over, they cut everything before the turkeys left. They love wide open cutovers.
Oh, yeah.
You know that. I bought a ghost blind. And let me tell you, there's a ticket.
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
They're worth every penny for that kind of setup. Even in the woods sometimes, or a field edge. man, you lay them things over, and it's amazing to me. I've actually walked out after I've killed a turkey, turned around and took a picture, and you can't find that blind.
Oh, wow.
Because it looks like the rest of the sage
Right.
grass, or like William calls it, what does he call it, broomstraw?
Broomstraw.
I call it sage grass,
Right.
what I grew up calling it. But that's one thing. They're kind of a pain to tote around with you. But if you know you're going to go set up over here because
Right.
you roosted one or he drifts out in that field, that's a now short barrel. I've shot the top off it. You'll see, them things do like this.
Yeah.
Mine's missing about 3 of them. Of course, I shot the top off me and my son the last time me and him hunted together. I did. The bird come in hard right. He's on my right. He couldn't get turned to it. And I was going to wait, and he said, "No, Daddy, kill him. Kill him." I think he just wanted to be sitting there when I kill one.
Right.
And I shot the top off the blind. The bird didn't even know what happened. He's kind of like, he didn't fly. He just kind of like looking around. I said, "Kill that SOB." And he did. I mean, it happened the way I wanted it. I wanted him to kill the bird anyway. And
Right.
it turns out it was the last one he's probably killed in the last 6-7 years, I guess, because I ain't even got to hunt with him. So, yeah. What about you? You got any? What's your favorite? What's one of the tactics you've learned there, Dustin? Or as better known in Addison, Dusty?
Yeah. Or by my mama.
Or by your mama?
Yeah. Man, I'm definitely a patient hunter. I can, if I mean, I'll stay. If I know there's a bird
you know-
there, it doesn't matter to me. I can
As long as you know
stay.
he's there.
Yeah. If I can just get a gobble or, or hear a hen, if I know a hen's close and I've been hearing a gobble, more than likely he's close to her. So, I mean, I'll hang in there like a rusty hook. I mean, I just like being in the woods during turkey season. It don't matter.
Me too.
Even the days when you're having a slow day, now that part makes it a little better with a hunting partner because something happens that's funny, and I mean, it kind of gets you back going. But
Apparently, I'm the funny one.
Just the things
just
you
this
see,
trip.
just the things you see out there, a lot of people will never get to experience.
Oh, you're right. I mean, I've seen so many things.
I remember years ago, you was talking about those white flowers.
Yeah,
bush.
yeah.
Well, I was down this bottom one time. They were blue, and there was a big pine tree, and this bush was kind of surrounding this pine tree. I was like, man, that's an awesome setup. So I tucked in there, evening hunt, just being cool and calling every now and then. I had a hummingbird. I promise you, it was probably 5 inches from my face, getting nectar out of one of those flowers. You could feel his wing.
Yeah, he was that close.
A lot of people never see this.
No. I had a hen. I don't know what. I've got a video, and I can show you the video. I can back it up. She was lost hen yelping. I was off down in the bottom one morning. I yelped back at her. She yelped back. Next thing I know, she's right there in front of me. She kept walking her. She saw me. She come right up. She circled the tree, walked around yelping. I've got tons of videos. I actually smoked a cigarette. I was smoking back then.
Oh, wow.
Me and her smoked a cigarette, but she didn't. She come over and laid down here to that door from me, right beside me, and stayed there. It was like 12:30. I'm going, I got to go. I mean, there was no gobbler around. And I said, well, I guess this is it, old girl. And I stood up, and she stood up like, where are you going?
Why are you
Yeah,
leaving?
I mean, I walked past her, and she followed me. I was in the bottom. It was all cut over because they cut all that wood. So I guess that was 2016, somewhere in there. I only smoked during turkey season back in them days. But she followed me to the edge of the cutover. I mean, it was just like a dog.
Oh, wow.
I swear, I said, she's either never seen a human or she's had human interaction before.
Right.
But where I was, there was no houses for miles and
Wow, that's
miles
cool.
and miles. And I went back down in there, you don't know how many times.
Trying
Calling
to find
for,
you, buddy.
I wasn't looking for a gobbler.
Right,
I
you're
was
trying
looking
to-
for that hen.
That's right.
And
That's
it's
cool.
crazy. But yeah, I mean, a lot of turkey hunters never see that.
Right.
It was just bees swarming. I've got to see bees swarming. Back when I could hear them. I go, man, I could hear bees, and go down there and be a big bee tree. They're just, the hive splitting off or whatever they were doing, just millions of bees. Watched terrapins mate one time, turtles, box turtles.
A couple of years ago, that's the first time I ever got to watch a gobbler breed a hen.
Oh, yeah?
I'd never seen it in nature.
You ever watch the pecking order? They fly down and they're fighting. I've watched that a couple of times.
No, but when we were in Texas at that ranch, that first morning, they set me up under a tree. There's 40. They had to be 40 turkeys in one tree, but they set me 200 yards away from that tree, which I should. Well, he did. I don't think he was a big turkey hunter. And I didn't really know that. But anyway, I'm sitting under a cedar, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And as it got light, I kept going, or it was getting lighter. I go, what the heck is that in front of me? I kept staring, and what is that? That's a squirrel nest? There's another squirrel nest. There, 10, 20, 30. That tree was way over here with 40 turkeys. I bet there's 150 of them lined up in these little scrub oaks.
Oh, wow.
And I sat with my feet out, and I am not kidding you, had turkeys walk by the ends of my boots as they travel by me.
I've had that happen before.
I was just dozens of them. Now, all the gobblers ended up in that tree with the 40 hens, but it was all hens. Just amazed me. I was just, something else. Deer walked right up at squirrel. I've had a squirrel jump on my boot. Didn't you have one get close to you not too long ago?
Yeah.
Have you ever sat down beside a rattlesnake?
No.
No, but I stepped on one.
I would need clean underwear.
And let me tell you what, you can't crap a gold brick. If so, I'd be rich. I'd own that property today.
Y'all have to read my book. Good story in there about rattlesnakes.
I got your book.
Me too.
I ain't gonna lie, I haven't finished it. I always pick them up and start.
That was my worst day of turkey hunting ever. And that's one of the days I let a turkey walk.
Was it because of that snake?
I'd killed the snake, and I decided I'm going to go turkey hunt anyway. So I went on down, further down the woods, caught a turkey in, watched him, didn't shoot him. I'm going to let you live today.
You got to live, so the turkey got to live. You know what I did? I went out. I'd killed a turkey that morning. Really wasn't planning on turkey. I was just going out really to roost one, but I carried my gun, which I know is probably illegal. But there's coyotes and snakes. Thank God I had a gun. I was walking down that road, looking ahead. I think that's why I look down all the time now, and he looks out. But I'm looking ahead, and when I stepped on that snake,
you knew what it was.
And my foot rolled to the side. Luckily, it was stretched out. I guess a big female. I don't know. She was probably that big around. I thought I jumped from here to that door, but really I jumped from me to him. And that old snake had seasoned it up.
Oh, yeah.
I had on snake boots, thank God. But I didn't have my gun on my shoulder. I had my gun. All I did was take that old 835 and I knocked that safety off and I shot from the hip. I cut it off about that far below its head, about 6 inches. And I was shaking so bad, I cut the rattlers off, 13 rattlers and a button. And I just went back to when I was looking at it, right there, this is what got me. That's a snake. Right there where that snake was laying was my baby boy's boot print from the week before. He was about that long. And I said, oh, my God.
Yep.
That would have killed him. I don't know if I could have got him to the hospital in time.
That's why I worry about my grandson. He's wanting run and gun. It's like, not yet. Because I've had snakes strike me up to my thigh. That snake boots are good, but...
Well, not on a big rattler.
What do they say? A rattlesnake if it's coiled up, it can go half 1.5 or half
its length of the body's what I've heard.
I had one strike a 20-30 John Deere clutch pedal one time with me in shorts and tennis shoes.
Well, now what do you got over there? Timber rattlers?
Timber rattlers.
That's what we have. Apparently not. I can see where they cross the road sometimes.
Right.
I'd be walking down some sandy roads and it wasn't there when I went in, but, across from one side to the other, that ain't an armadillo tail I'm looking at.
We got us a big copperhead.
Big copperhead.
Earlier
they killed
this
one
year.
of them in Tennessee.
Well, my grandson got to run and gun this year. He got his first run and gun turkey.
Good for
season.
him.
Glad
he do it. You better go ahead and let him do it while you can keep up with him.
Yeah.
And why he can run.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What else? We missed something? Tell us something. Where can people get your book?
Amazon. The title of it's called My Spring, Turkey Hunting Adventures with Roger Petty. There's 3 different. You can do the Kindle version. You can do the black and white picture version, or you can do a color copy picture version.
And you'll have them available to show in Birmingham?
I usually try to bring them in each show. But you can
That's
get
where I
them
bought
Amazon.
mine. But
Yeah.
at the show, though, you can get them autographed. You get a sign.
Get a picture.
Get
a
a picture. Get a picture with the author. Let's see. What about, what's your favorite turkey call? Mouth call?
Green Mile right now.
Legacy Green Mile.
You like it, or that's your...
Who pictures on that?
His.
I know whose it
And the
is.
slobber knocker. His.
Slobber Knocker was mine.
How'd you get two and poor little David's only got one?
People love them.
Who designed it? You design it? Did you design it or help design
Me
it?
and
Or
William, we
y'all
talked
together?
about us together.
We're going to have the meeting too, perineum.
There you go.
That's gonna be our legacy call.
I thought
like I
you was
said,
going to
William
say the
finally-
meat and two read. That's what I thought you was going to
Yeah.
say.
And William finally got his call out this year, the Green Beret.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
it.
I
I
got
like
it.
it. I
Yeah,
like
it's a
it.
good
It's a
call.
pretty good call.
Yeah,
I'll
we go
be
back and
honest
forth.
with you. I like that hacksaw. I don't know. I just got it by. I had it. This is what's so weird. I had it. I killed one. I know one turkey at Fred's with it, and then maybe no. How many did I kill down there? Two.
Yeah.
So I've killed two down there. Yeah. So I know I killed that one with it, and I lost it down there. I think it's still in my blind. That's why I panicked because
Right.
it had turned into my. You know how you get that call that you know when you put it in your mouth, it's going to make the sound you want it
Oh,
to
yeah.
make. There's two of them. One of them was one of Nick's Ghost Cut call, our buddy. I really got it, but man, that call, and I know it was 4 reed because I sit there and mess with it. But I didn't know if it was the Mark IV or the hacksaw. I bought the hacksaw down here, and I've got one from you up there, and the
Right.
Mark IV, and I like them both.
Have you run the Wild Hunter?
No,
I think that's the number one selling call in Alabama.
really? What is it? Is it a?
Is it a V cut?
I can't remember which cut that one is.
I know.
It's called the what? Wild Hunter.
I
I've
think
got
that-
so many calls, man.
I know.
I'd have a two gallon Ziploc bags. full
Oh, it's
in the freezer.
amazing when we start packaging those back in bundles at the show. When they're hanging on the wall, you don't realize there's that many different calls.
Get one of every one of them and try them. Like I said, you may
Well, that's the
find something
deal.
you like better.
I didn't
I like my dead
realize
But they're going to be consistent for sure.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's one thing about legacy
that's
calls.
one. Well, they're
One person makes them, and
one person, one at a time.
Yep.
Well, you know, he's got every one of them. He's touched every one
Every
of those
one of 'em.
calls. I don't know what happens after that. I guess y'all all help package and do stuff
yeah, we
when
help.
you need to.
That's the only thing he let us do is help package and
Yeah.
put them in the clamshells.
What about that machine? You ever got to see it?
He has.
Because he told us we'd never get to see
He
it.
said there's 3 people.
Yeah.
I know. I know the three of them. I'm lucky enough to, well, yeah, know all
But
three of
he
them.
does every one of them. That's why I started running when I first started turkey hunting was the Paul Busky turkey call. I think I run it for 2 years. Then I met William, and I've been running his call for 28 years now.
Well, somehow somebody else's call got on his dash.
We've seen it.
Just because I don't use them calls no more.
He laughed at it.
I purposely put that on there.
Yeah.
I was hoping he's going to jump in that truck and get to the edge of the woods, and there it's set.
No, we didn't even
Apparently.
we didn't
I
get out of
know.
the driveway, and he's seen it. He's like, the boys.
Well, I was waiting on the perfect time to get it out there. I think it was raining. I went out to the truck to
Right.
get him a beer or something.
Yeah, he left his windows down, by
Did
the
he
way.
Yeah.
On the truck.
Well, I didn't roll them down now.
No, he
They
did
were
when he was
already
backing
down.
up. Because I looked at it the next morning, I was like, I think your window's down. He goes, yep.
The old truck with
You
like
could-
500,000 miles on it.
You couldn't roll no windows down for long while we were there.
No.
No.
Well,
You said it got worse after we
Well-
left, huh?
Oh, it was rain every day. Friday, when I left that morning, it was beautiful. And it stayed beautiful all day long. So
don't that make you sick?
he got the rest of the deck done, except for the roof. So
Well, that'll give you something to do in June.
Yeah, that'll give you something to do when you ain't shooting your bow.
that's what I'll be doing.
Yeah.
Working on put the grand boy to work too.
There you go.
Yeah,
We
he-
might just come up there and sit in lawn chairs and watch you.
Y'all come up. He won't put you to work.
I go.
Oh, yeah.
I done figured out if I go do anything back up there, I'm taking my tools and tool belt.
Yeah,
might as well.
Right.
I mean, I had to talk to him 3 days
Well-
to get me a pencil, a whole one.
He's got big plans for that.
Oh, I had to
place.
remind him about that. I said, get them pencils.
They've laid that out really well though. That's a nice cabin they're putting together. Love all the
It'll be available
cedar.
to rent soon.
Yeah, I told Laura if she ever wanted to go up for anniversary on a romantic trip
I'll
up to
tell you
Southern
what,
Illinois.
There's a lot of sightseeing up there.
Yeah, there really is.
Garden of the Gods. You got all that. There's a lot of stuff to see. If you like to hike, there's plenty to see.
My daughter likes
Did you
to
bring
hike,
that
so
book back to your daughter, that magazine?
Yeah, they're gonna go
there
up
was
there.
a ton of stuff.
I brought
in there.
one in to Rebecca because I was hoping to sucker her in, maybe wanting to go up there. She would go. She'll go anywhere I want her to go.
Right.
And that banana pudding ice cream.
Oh, my goodness.
Did you get some for your left?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we did
Yeah,
too.
we did
Twice.
too. We got it on the way out.
Twice.
Those chocolate covered cherries.
Oh, you was there a few more days. Oh, yeah. What
I
about
bought my-
those?
Oh my God, I ate one of them. They're not whole cherries. There's kind of like parade inside it.
Oh.
Oh my God. I got my girl, the office manager for me. We've known each other 14, 15 years old. She married my best friend. Because I used to tell her, I said, man, if me and you had got together, we'd be millionaires now. The way I can bid jobs and make money and the way you can chase it down and make sure they pay.
Right.
I said, we'd have done it. But she works for me, and she loves chocolate, dark chocolate, not milk chocolate. It's got to be dark. The darker, the better. I think she could eat cocoa out of a can. But I bought her a half a pound of dark chocolate-covered cherries.
Oh, wow.
Man, I carried them back. I had them on her desk when I got there. I had to go in. My alarm went off. I had to go in early, and it was all because they had put stupid balloons on my chair for my birthday.
They
And
look
my
like
air conditioner kicked on in the middle of the night. And then I get the call from the alarm company.
Oh.
And I had
It
to go
looked like
down
they
there.
took
I mean,
care of
I'm walking around my
Right.
office with my gun. And then where is zone 2? I can't find zone 2. And I look up and it's a dang motion detector. I thought it was a door alarm. Nah. But she loved them things.
It looked like they took good care of you for your birthday.
Oh yeah, I got the best people on earth. I can't say enough. I mean, for what I do and where I've been, and as much time as I take off in the spring, so I don't worry about nothing. I used to. Rebecca told me that I couldn't stand.
Couldn't stand to be away.
Well, I was afraid to go
Sure.
anywhere, and my buddies want me to go fishing with them in Canada, and it's like it's a 7-day trip, so you're going to spend 9 or 10 days because you got to get there and get back.
Right.
And she told me, she said, if you can't leave for a week, then you've got the wrong people working
Wrong
for
people.
you.
That's right.
And
You got to trust
I
them.
started doing that, and I sat them down the first time I left. I said, listen, make the best call you can make. You cannot make a mistake this week. I said, you make the call, right or wrong. You won't hear nothing out of me.
Right.
And they've all made the right calls for the most part.
They seem to sell more stuff when you're gone.
Actually, they do better. They do better when I'm gone. I thought of them. I said, I'm going to start traveling more.
Wait the next spring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I did talk to Tommy about that, about our dates. He's going to let me know. What he does, his existing clients that come up there, they got first dibs. They got 1 month to book their date if they want to take the same weekend or whatever. So he said he'll know in another month, and he'll give me the dates.
I heard a guy, Lake Pickle, Lake.
Oh, yeah.
Does he hunt up there with him? Because he was talking about Missouri hunting with
Yeah,
Tommy, and I went, I bet you that's
Yeah.
the same Tommy.
Him and
Jordan?
Jordan.
Yeah, but
They deer
this
hunt
year,
up there. I think they're turkey hunting.
him
up
and
there
his
as
wife went up there this year because they both killed. They were shooting muzzleloader, though. They didn't draw a shotgun or something.
they
they got
hunt with him.
muzzleloader. When he said Tommy in Missouri, I went,
Yep.
wait a minute. It's all coming together.
Yep, that's
Puzzle
it.
pieces.
When
coming
I hear somebody like him, he just took a job with Meat Eater. He's going to have his own podcast on Meat Eater. He's leaving, speak the language, leaving poor old Jordan all by himself. But Jordan, if you need some help, me and Dustin can help you.
Yeah.
He ain't listening either, so
I think we'll have a good hunt, though.
Oh, win or lose, it's
So
going to be a good
those
hunt.
fatties, that's what they call the Iowa birds. They're big.
I want
Good
a big
eggs.
one. I want a big one.
Man.
When
big
you say
guy.
big, how big you think?
I think average is 25 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to get me a 30-pounder. I never have broke 20. I broke 26 once or twice. That one behind us, first turkey I ever killed. When was that? 90. That was 98. So that tells you how long I hunted before I killed a
Right.
turkey.
It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time.
Can't wait. Are we riding together? We gonna
That's
meet
what
up?
we probably need to do. I'll
We
probably,
need to-
I'll probably ride over
we'll
here.
map
and-
that out before. Yeah.
But I'll get our dates and we'll get everything planned
Yeah,
out.
Roger can come here and park here at my house, and we'll.
We'll just blow out of here. Well, good deal. What else? We got anything else? We missed something? I know we've run in a little long. You're probably hungry. You probably ain't eat dinner tonight.
I'm headed
I'm
to Tennessee.
always hungry.
I'm headed to Tennessee.
Oh, in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to get home.
It's for sure happening. I got the daughter a ride to school.
I'm gonna
Have
try
you
to
told the
I'm gonna-
wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or did you ask?
And then
the
you know
wife?
what was great? She says, "Well, what day are you coming back?"
Oh, that right there. There you go.
So I left
You
it
may
open.
go on.
I left
Listen,
it
at
open.
lunch, go ahead and get the room.
Well, I left it open. I got points. The
you
room wouldn't cost me nothing. But I left it open. I said, probably tomorrow night, but Wednesday is going to be the better day, and it's still going to be too wet to work. So I'll just let you know.
Let me tell you,
play it by ear.
she's a good woman.
I'll probably be divorced soon.
No, you won't.
No,
She's
nah,
a good,
she's a
understanding
sweet
woman.
woman.
Listen, he gets away a lot more with me
Yeah, I blame
because if
everything
I
on
drive, it was just like that. We coming back Tuesday? No, we come back Wednesday. I ain't killing
Anthony
no
wanted to
turkey.
stay 2 days longer, so
Listen, we were.
I'm riding with him, so
Yeah.
I got to stay.
Texas was
and
kind of my
Texas
fault,
was.
but I did it. It was on me. But
Yeah, but you killed a turkey. But we're driving up the road, and I said, "We still got tags. We can't go home."
Right.
How many days was we gone?
he's like, I got to come back and do Texas. And I said, nah, we ain't going home.
He got on Facebook, found us
Found another
somebody.
spot.
Took another couple of days, and we're way further south.
Called the wife.
We're not coming home.
We're not going to make it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to hit the last 2 days of Georgia. So
I hope you get it.
I didn't kill a bird in Georgia last year. It's first year since I've turkey hunted. Might not get one in Georgia this year.
Oh, yeah.
Had opportunity though. So
Well, that's all you can ask for,
That's right.
really.
I think all you Georgia boys is holding on to that no chance of rain for Wednesday and Thursday. I talked to another buddy of ours on the way over here, and he said, man, I'm going to try to get out Wednesday or
yeah.
Thursday. He said, or both, but it's going to be in the evening. He said, I'm tied up in the mornings. He said, but I'm going. So,
One of these days, we're going to go to Georgia and kill one.
yeah.
We ain't killed close to home. Tennessee's closest. Tennessee and Florida, we've got north and south. We ain't got
in
east and west.
Mississippi.
I hunted Tennessee with Matt one time. I didn't kill a Tennessee bird.
We might have some places in Tennessee, though. If we went to East Tennessee.
Matt probably has some places.
Yeah, but would he share them with you?
Probably.
Probably you, not us.
Oh, I got to.
I'm saying, I know you got places.
When we get done with this, though, I got something I need to tell you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, we're fixing to wrap
About
it
East
up.
Tennessee.
All right.
Fellas, I enjoyed it.
Hey, I did too. I'm so glad you made the trip from
made
Georgia all the way over here. See, guys, y'all can drive over here. It ain't that bad.
No, not at all.
And you got to see the
You
studio.
got the scenery.
Yeah, I mean, we're working
it's
on
got
it.
the lake view for sure.
Got the view. Yeah, I don't think it looks too bad in here.
Looks
We've worked
fantastic.
our butts off.
I like it.
If it hadn't been for me and all my detail work on these walls and, stuff.
Thank God it wasn't 100 by 100. We'd still be building. We'd be in one corner.
All right.
It looks great.
Well, appreciate it. And hopefully you come back again.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know you will after next year.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll have a lot to
That's
talk
right.
about.
That's right.
Yeah, we may have to do that before
Hey,
he even leaves back
About
out
to say
to
we can do it
Georgia.
as soon as before I leave.
While
That's
it's
right.
fresh on our minds.
There we go.
Yep.
Well, you got anything?
Nope. If you're still getting to hunt,
You got in the hunt.
good luck.
Everybody out there is getting the hunt. Good luck. We got one more.
We got one more.
You got
run.
more than I do. I got one more hunt left, and we leaving Saturday. And for that,
But I'd rather be in your shoes. You done killed them Tennessee birds. I'm going to go try to get one.
you'll get one.
You'll get
I
one.
wish I could come and be there.
I tried to-
I just like being there.
Last
yeah.
night, I almost said, hey, why don't you work Monday and take off Tuesday? Because I'm looking at the weather. And you may have to fake a stomach virus
Never
or
know.
something.
He's got to trust the employees.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll
they can
tell
leave.
you, I might show up there Wednesday if you're there. I can't make no promises though. Have to depend on what goes on
I
tomorrow.
tell you what, though, I will be fair about it. If I was smack one tomorrow, I'll come home.
I don't blame you. You gonna call it? You wouldn't try for two?
Well, I just spend some time with the family before we leave for a week.
You'll be back in a week.
I'm gonna do the same thing if I get lucky and kill one. That's it.
You just gonna call it and be done.
Yep,
Well,
What else you got? Nothing. You
it.
got anything?
that's it.
All right. Nothing else. Take care of your trees. That's where the turkeys sleep.